Randy still.
Randy's Terry's brother.
Larry Omar.
Larry Omar was the second.
Randy was dead before Terry.
Yeah.
I don't know who you were talking about. Mark Morgan Young.
Mark Organi. Yeah.
Morgan Young.
Yeah. Oh, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
He lives in Pauldale, I think, or Lancaster.
Jack Moore.
Is that Robert Porcel in here?
Yeah. What's the word? In the valley. Monty Murray. I saw him on Saturday.
Heard the name.
John Bell.
From you and said he was on a crew. You know him from
Monty Murray's a softball.
thought he was a football official, to be honest.
Yeah, when he's a softball man.
Okay.
John Bell.
Softball, baseball.
Yeah, he was at the meeting last night. The biology.
Gene Krebs.
Yeah. James retired from so many schools. We have heard from Chatsworth and West Ranch. Oh,
And Lakeview Navarro. That's cool.
how many minutes till you're on the air?
8.
8 minutes, okay.
8 minutes and count.
We gotta learn about interference and obstruction.
Good.
We talked about interference and obstruction last night at the Valley meeting. This is another refresher for me.
How many videos did they have last night?
Yeah,
Randy Bergman.
yeah.
Anything that screwed up the softball.
Steve, how many videos did they have?
They had one big one, Burbank and Burrow's game 2 or 3 years ago. There was an obstruction at second base.
Oh my God.
The runner going around second, then a close play at home, and then Pampa and Alan Crone were doing the game. And they had to get together, and he's like, don't do it the way we did it, you know, like they were showing it as a learning tool because it should have been an easy call. The hold up was 1 or 2 steps, and it was 1 or 2 steps at home. So it's a dead ball, and you award them home. It's simple. So, anyways, that they only showed that one video about it, obstruction.
You're gonna get like 25, 30 videos.
Okay, that's fine. I'm totally.
You're not getting one.
Well, interference and obstruction, pain in the ass, man.
It is.
It really is. I had in a playoff
Kirk
game.
West.
What is it?
Kirk West is a friend of his.
Oh yeah. I've never friended him. I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm not doing. He can send me a friend request.
Chris Brown. Johnny Massilia. Linda Hooker. Well, I wonder what.
So we had the fielder come into with the batter runner in the running lane. Okay, the fielder came across simultaneously with catching the ball, and then after receiving and possessing the ball here, turned to try to make a play. Okay, and Enrique mistakenly called obstruction on the fielder. And it's not. You either have out or safe at that point. You're not gonna have interference unless you have malicious contact of some sort, and you're not gonna have obstruction because the fielders met their requirement of possession and making an attempted put out at that
So
point.
he's already had
So,
possession.
and then he ended up ejecting the coach from the game because the coach came out and defended his player correctly, rightfully. So, I mean, and I'm not calling out his name and the situation to badmouth him. I'm calling it out as a learning experience for me.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's pretty obvious that you're either going to have out or safe on that one. There's no interference or obstruction.
You're talking about the batter runner between what base?
Batter runner on their way to first.
On the way to
home at
first? Okay.
And the attempted put out occurred in the running lane, maybe 6 or 7 feet from first base.
So the ball was hit to the first
Mute your
baseman?
TV, Tony.
So do you agree with everything I said, Jesse, or not?
Mute your TV.
Mute your TV, please. Or is there something I'm missing there? Am I giving you enough information? So the
So
batted ball to the infield.
batted
the
ball
throw
to
to
the first
first.
baseman? Oh,
Fielder attempts to possess the ball on the fair side of the foul line.
And then
Okay?
tries to tag.
And then as they're moving their hand, they catch the ball and possess it.
mhm.
And then they turn, now they're in the runner's path with possession of the ball.
Okay.
And the batter runner is also in the running lane.
Okay.
Okay, so by rule, you either have out or safe at that point,
Why
in my
couldn't,
opinion.
why couldn't you just call the runner out?
If there's a put out, yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean,
But I'm saying, what I'm saying
if you
is,
got a collision, it's almost like a put out, right? somewhere, I'm sure that first baseman
Right, Roxy.
is trying to put that ball on the runner.
I would
To
agree.
tag her.
I would agree 100%.
Yeah, okay.
So, but the call on the field was obstruction.
Why is
Oh.
Mario? No, actually, no.
It ended up being a.
He didn't go to the other meeting, I guess. Maybe he left the other
Bad
meeting.
hole. I think we're running 30 videos tonight. Really? Wow, he's punctual. It's a money. Peter, he says that every year.
Roxy,
Like
how
my
you
dad.
doing, Roxy?
I knew you would finally get it. That's the guy. He worked in Simi Valley. All day.
He would do whatever Bob asked him to do.
Yeah, no, he was there then. And then Jerry Peterson out. She was retired.
He's moved.
No, I know. He said he's gonna move up to Bama.
Well, he moved to Yosemite area.
He said his wife.
Did you get those
somewhere
games
else.
covered there last weekend?
Oops.
Yeah, they got some.
Or maybe not, she might not have moved.
Lot
He
of-
might have moved it.
Yeah, and I'll give you how it worked. Peter Glasgow has the same problem. Divorcing right now.
Oh.
Working on it.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, yeah, so I'm-
Tony told you, I gotta leave it.
yeah, we gotta train him. So you know who else you need to train is David White. Remember I told you I work with him at Fillmore?
Pretty, it's not bad.
No, I didn't say it was bad. I just said he at
Yeah.
the bases, on
If
the
we could ever
bases,
get
he's
him to
not
show
sure
up.
where to be. He's
Yeah,
not
'cause
sure where to be pre-pitch.
He works at night, that's his problem.
he works at night right now, so.
Probably work for UPS, those guys, they're a bunch of shit. How long has it been since you worked? for UPS?
2017. Yeah, 7 years.
Why'd you leave?
What do you mean?
Why?
Oh, I was.
Oh, David White's at the meeting.
The rink got busy enough.
Oh,
Yeah, I got more programs and more stuff going, so. Okay. So. I worked the playoff game with him last year at Cleveland High School. They played Marshall.
good.
Yeah, well,
That
that
sounds
was a good game though.
Was it?
It
Sounds
was
like it.
competitive. That whole West Valley league, other than Birmingham, well, even Birmingham's down. What's his name's daughter plays shortstop for them, for Birmingham, Jim Rose.
Is it daughter place?
Yeah, I think she's a senior this year.
Well, what do you know?
I had them against Notre Dame last
Isn't
year,
that old nepotism?
10 years, yeah, 10
That's.
nothing after 5, perfect.
You remember when the city used to.
15 after 5, that's
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, sure. What, let me ask you this, that was back when Brian was signing, what game do you think I got assigned?
The
The 15 after 5.
That's
Yes,
better than
exactly.
nothing.
We're gonna hit everybody here.
I used to get those games too, because that's what he was getting. He was on the game, but me, really, if people would tell
Oh,
this.
so that's the guy down the valley.
I figured I wouldn't. I would. think that.
I see. You could drive to the valley a lot, meet with him and help him assign and all that.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember he'd go to, he use the restroom or whatever, he'd sign 10 or 15 games. And he had-
Where are we? Right here?
Oh my gosh, and that was back when there were way more officials to,
Oh, there was a ton, it was like 10 pages of pages.
yeah.
He would go, like, there would be like 20 people on a page. He'd go to page 7. I'm like, 7?
Yeah.
40 officials.
Who's showing their name as Kim Stone?
Who wrote you something to that effect?
That's me, guys. Brian Smith.
Oh, okay. I thought you were diving today.
Indonesia.
Aren't you swimming?
No, but I'm going to be missing lunch, so I'll stay as long as I can. It's noon here.
Lunchtime.
Must be nice to have that much money that you can never work and only travel your whole life.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's all that umpire money,
Ah, is that what it is?
Looks like there's a lot of officials. Really know, is there?
McCann's here.
Jesse,
Yeah.
Jesse, how many games you?
It's all that little league money.
Oh, that was-
Little league money. Aren't you supposed to do that for free, Mario?
Exactly.
Nah,
I was sad. I took money from Little League a long time ago, so I couldn't go to Williams.
Whenever I'm available.
That's
when
why
I'm
I'm
not
saying I
working
never had to
college.
go there.
Depends on how much college uses me. I don't even know if they're gonna.
Perfect.
So Okay. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Anyone else comes in, we'll let them in and they can join in later. So we're gonna start out with some warm-up videos before we actually get into the presentation. For those of you who have not been on our website yet, let me let Mr. Wildermuth in. Who've not been on our website, I'm gonna log in for you as an official.
I can see what else. Cause I got like,
Okay, under instructional corner,
fresh back out of little wedgie fontina cheese and with that fresh parmesan.
first under the library.
Cheese.
I gotta take off my glasses so I can read the actual screen here. The study guide that you can print out is here. So you can click it, it's a PDF, it's 26 pages long because they generated it off the website. But it's there for you to be able to download so you can start working on that before our meeting next month. Because our next meeting will be the study guide prep session. But you're going to want to go through and do your study guide. We're not doing it like we have in the past, where we're going to go around and everyone's going to read a question and we're going to get the answer. Yeah, it's changed from the 13th to the 15th because I think that's I think the 13th is National Championship Football Day. I thought it would be a smart thing to move off that game. I've bookmarked like 26 questions in it that we'll probably discuss. Most of them are pretty simple. Question, look in your rule book. You have any questions on any of them, mark them, and we'll discuss them at the meeting, but we're not going through every question this year. The other thing with that, under calendars, the instructional calendar, to do the online one, if you look at the January 29th date, that Zoom meeting, that link takes you to the online study guide. So if you want to start doing your test, you can go in and start and stop it all you want. I would just suggest not submitting it till after we have our meeting because it's going to get graded. It doesn't really matter what you score on it. What we're looking at is how much time you spent on it. If you spent 9 minutes on it, you didn't spend a lot of time. If you spent 30 to 40 minutes, you at least put in an effort. The other thing under instructional corner is our video library. And you can see I've broken stuff down. If you've missed a session and you want to go back and see it, Steven's iPhone. I'm not sure who that is. That might be Zaldana. So, if you've missed a session, sorry, we don't have session 3, which was our pitching one. Some idiot forgot to hit record. Oh, that would be me. So 1, 2, and 4 are there. This one I'm recording right now, so this will be up there also. You have interference obstruction videos. You have pitching videos. You have Rule 5 explained. You have a 2 umpire system overview. If you want to watch it. Mike, can you mute yourself? Because your background noise is coming in.
Yeah, just give me a second. I'll do it. Got to figure out how to do it.
Just click on the little microphone in the lower left corner.
I don't see a microphone lower left corner.
Because then I got to go back to Zoom. Let's see. Minority.
Oh,
I got you, Mike.
okay. I see it. I got it. Right now, I'll mute it.
All right. Who is Steven's iPhone? Is that Mr. Zaldana?
Me.
Who's me? Is that Steve Zaldana? All right, before we get into the actual presentation, I'm going to show you some videos that we have up on the site. Just kind of little warm-up stuff, kind of let you look at some things. So we're going to start with this first one, which is delayed slide play. So this is Texas, Oklahoma, a little college game here.
That ain't working.
What they're saying doesn't matter. There's too much.
Oh. Really?
What's wrong with that?
Okay, anyone have a thought on that? Do you think that was interference or not interference?
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. Anybody else?
Nothing.
Anybody think the other way?
If she'd stayed upright another second longer, it would have been. You could see what she was trying to do, but she was down before the throw. The throw looked fine.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
pretty
looking
much
for-
what the umpires
I'm
there
looking for an
decided.
altered throw. There's no altered throw. So play on.
And it was, but there was another view that they showed that I cut off where it looks like the second baseman is actually fairly well clear of second and kind of throwing back through the runner. And the runner got down, the ball didn't hit her. I don't think the runner did anything to alter it. Probably not a call I would make.
Interference, I guess.
Tony wants interference because he gets a free out. Okay. So
He was told this weekend that they don't write down a safe. When you call it out, they write
Hey,
that down. That's history. So the more
You gonna
history,
say
you have,
hi?
the faster the game's
this
over.
is another college game.
You see that starting to heat up or Tehran.
Well, let me go full screen.
Distracted just a bit.
Maybe not.
For the RBI single for Tehran. Just that quickly, Duke takes a 1-0 lead, but leaves the bases loaded right away. The error. Now Syracuse ties it up. You wonder if Coach Marissa Young is out to have a discussion about how close in the proximity Davis and the base runner.
Yeah, so to me, in my opinion, I think that this was interference by the runner because Deja Davis has the right to go get the ball, and it is the responsibility of the runner to go around her.
She does?
To me, that was.
Are you sure?
That was close.
As it stands, an RBI single for Tehran, who stands at.
It's either cold or COVID.
It's cold and COVID. It's from 21.
One way for now.
Now, this is the NC2A rule.
Where's the screen? I don't see it.
An interesting play at second now between.
It didn't look like the shortstop moved in a different
They're going to give you
direction
another
to attack the
view.
ball.
And if you noticed in the original, the third base umpire did signal safe.
So she is interfering and not physically, but how do you make that play with that runner being directly in front of you?
It's good. What?
Now the conversation with Syracuse coaches.
Why? Is it interference? No. Why
This
not?
will be overturned.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And
I think it's 100% judgment because interference is when the member of the offense takes away the defensive opportunity to make
Well, that's what I'm saying. The
conversation.
shortstop couldn't make the play.
One thing I find interesting about the season is we can't really tell how anyone feels with the masks on. So that's a little difficult to see. But it looks like she's pleading her case as well.
I'm convinced some coaches especially might keep the scarf at least going forward, because that way you can't tell what anybody's saying. You know, people usually cover their
There's the
faces
important
when
part.
you see
Yeah,
calls of
agreed.
football or something like that, but
So this was overturned. Meaning the runner is out.
yeah, so the first time we saw interference and obstruction.
What are they
called
ruling?
at second,
What are they
which
ruling?
allowed the runner to stay. Here we see runner interference, so now 2 away, it's
Okay.
still 1-0 Duke.
Kind of
And
excessive.
You're looking at signs, I'm right in the middle of a commercial. I'm the new ambassador. I'm Howie Mandel, the newest ambassador of Skechers. Funny story how I became an ambassador. I went to the store.
So
New hands-free.
Hang
the
on.
rule includes.
Let me turn this. Let me turn this ad off.
The rule, the interference rule says confuses or hinders, so, you know, they
Right.
could make the judgment call that she confused the runner by running straight at her instead of trying to take an angle around her. And while she didn't make any contact with her, she still confused her enough to cause her to boot the grounder.
Right. This is strictly a judgment call as to how you see it. To me, it looked like the runner was well past her before she kicked it from that video, but
I see no interference.
and the third base umpire on that play does actually call safe at the time of it. So he didn't think it was interference, and he had a pretty good look at it from what I could see, but then they changed it. So
Where
it's
are
hard
you
to say.
Where are you accessing the screen? I don't see the screen.
You may need to change your view to be on speaker view and not
I
on.
am on speaker view.
So are you? So do you see the website up right now? What do you see up on your screen?
What? I don't know. Which website?
Are you seeing a list of videos on your screen right now?
No,
What are you seeing on your screen?
just the Zoom.
Okay, so I don't know why you're not seeing it, because is anyone else not seeing the screen?
I can see it.
I can see it. I got it.
So
Got it.
So it's got to be the view on your side, Peter.
Okay,
I got it.
I'll try something else. I don't want to disrupt it, so
Okay.
we keep going.
Okay.
Are you on a PC or are you on a pad?
PC.
Okay, in the bottom right corner, there should be or upper right corner on the PC. There should be it where it's a menu allows you to switch between speaker view and gallery view.
Yes.
What you're describing is you're in gallery view, and what Jesse's trying to tell you is you need to be in speaker view to see it.
But the check mark is next to speaker. It's not in gallery.
Try clicking it again. Or try switching to gallery and go back to speaker.
Yeah, I've done that. Nothing's happened. Like I said, I'll just keep trying. I don't want to disrupt the meeting.
Okay. Good. So here's another one for you.
When I started drinking warm water for my prostate,
There's the one we were looking for.
This is a high school game. I'm not quite sure where.
That looked like Bernardi, by the way.
Wow.
Here, they get one and they hit the runner with the ball, and now it's gonna allow Diak to get to second base.
Ball's probably out of play too.
Probably, and nobody saw it.
Yeah.
Is out. Yeah, they're gonna say she's gotta get out of the way because she just ran right into the throw. You look at this right here. There's a great angle right here.
That is 100% interference.
That got hurt.
In fact, if you get a view umpire, this is the video to show them. This is interference right here.
That's why we're showing
Hit
it.
him her in the face.
The helmet.
Oh, did she?
Can't believe it wasn't called on the field. Was it called immediately or not?
No attempt there at all.
Smack.
Slide. No attempt.
All he did was call the runner on
She
the
ran
second.
inside, she was
The
putting
no,
herself
the
out.
no attempt to slide has nothing to do with anything.
Yes. And they're good, they're state champions.
Yeah, and now standing at third, and that's just the way it's gonna be. Wow.
That's just the way it's, there's a rule for you, that's just the way it's gonna be.
Yeah, let that go.
What's up?
They haven't seen why you showed this video.
Roxy says no.
Because I say so is rule 10, right?
Yeah.
Rule 10, yeah.
So anyone have a differing opinion than what the officials ruled on that play?
Absolutely.
They let that thing stand?
Yeah.
The officials need-
The rule book says they do not have to slide, but
If you want to take,
obviously
Yeah.
she
you want to take it in the helm.
impeded the throw and she was retired. So what should have the call been?
I don't like.
Interference by a retired runner.
Interference.
Closest to the home plate.
Well, you have one of two choices on this. You can go interference on the retired runner and the runner closest to home plate is out, or because she was in the act of turning a double play, you can award the second out on the runner going to first because it's a completion of the play.
And under the Tony School of umpiring, depends on the score which one you do.
If we need that runner on third to be closer to home, then we're going to take the out at first. If not,
Who's winning?
I think the second option that you mentioned is the best.
It's the
The
best.
best call.
The double play is the better option on that.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah.
so
Unless I don't know that.
Okay, who else are you?
we're going to skip the perfect game one because it's like 12 minutes long and it goes over the rule.
When you're saying the runner closest to home, are you referring simply to the base that they are at or physical distance?
The base that they are at.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I assumed, but I wanted to ensure.
Yeah, if you had a runner on third at the start of that play, I mean, I'm not sure I would call that runner out because she probably scored at the time they got the out at second base.
Unless the double play completes the inning.
Right.
Right. Yep. Period.
But you had a runner at second and she went to third.
That's a different story. Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep. Gotcha. Thank you. Stupid
No
question,
problem.
maybe, but clears my mind.
okay, on this, looks like I have that video on there twice. This last one, the umpire on this is really horrible, so I apologize. I'll give extra credit if anyone can figure out who it is.
Well, the pants aren't
I wonder,
purple.
Jesse.
Pants aren't purple, so it can't be Chris.
Yeah, this is a different video. We're gonna go back. It's a little tough to see. I'll try to stop it right there. Yep. Yep. Get off that.
Jesse.
It's me. So
I'm saying Jess.
I'm assuming.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can see
Tell by the horrible stance.
stance, that's right.
But you can
And
see
it's
the
got-
runner and the shortstop right at the same time there.
Did he make the call out there at all?
No,
Who are you with?
that was Mel.
Okay.
And he apologized afterwards saying I should have made the call.
So that was an interference?
Yes.
Okay. So
Because the base runner going from second to third, you can see the shortstop. It's tough because it's fence mounted camera.
right.
That
I saw she got in front of her.
yeah, and I mean, literally she kind of pulled up and the ball went off her foot and caromed out into foul territory in left field. So it was
Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, I didn't see that
It was
part.
definitely, and of course, Danny Moore, who was the coach at Calabasas, had to come and argue with me and almost threw out his assistant coach, aka his daughter. So, okay, those were our warm-up videos. Now we're going to go to our actual presentation today. Now, there's more videos.
Oh, wake me up with the videos.
Okay, so yes, first year. So interference, which is on the offense, it's an act of physical or verbal by a member of the team at bat who illegally impedes, hinders, or confuses any fielder, or when a runner creates malicious contact with any fielder with or without the ball in or out of the baseline. Other types of interference involve equipment, umpire, and spectator. Rule 234, malicious contact is an act that involves excessive force with an opponent. And we'll have an example of that in one of the videos coming up. And obstruction, which is on the defense, is an act of the defensive team member that hinders or impedes a batter's attempt to make contact with a pitch ball, or that impedes the progress of a runner or batter who is legally running the bases unless the fielder is in possession of the ball or is making initial play on the batted ball. This act may be intentional or unintentional, physical or verbal. Can anyone tell me the difference between obstruction and interference?
Yeah, well, obstruction is an immediate call. Well, actually, interference is immediate call, dead ball. Obstruction is delayed dead ball.
Okay, but what's the difference? What's the difference in the definition?
One's on offense, one's on defense.
That, but there's still another difference.
One's a dead ball.
No.
What one protects the fielder
No.
or protects the runner? No.
So in the definition, obstruction is hinder or impede. Interference is hinder, impede, or confuse. There's that extra word. So if you have a runner that's clapping her hands or yelling, and you think that confused the fielder, that can be an interference call, where confuse is not part of the definition of obstruction. So a fielder not in possession of the ball or not making an initial play on a batted ball impedes the progress of a runner or a batter runner who's legally running the bases. Obstructed runners are still required to touch all bases in proper order, or they can be called out on an appeal by the defensive team. Should an act of interference occur following any obstruction, enforcement of the interference penalty would have precedence. Okay, so if a runner's obstructed going from first to second and they get the ball the second and they're turning to double play and she interferes with the throw, that interference is going to be ruled over the obstruction. Okay. The penalties for obstruction, if the obstructed runner is put out prior to the base that would have been reached had there been no obstruction, a dead ball is called, and the obstructed runner affected by the obstruction will be awarded the base or bases that would have been reached in the umpire's judgment had there not been obstruction. An obstructed runner may not be called out between the two bases where they were obstructed. Any questions on that? Okay, the exception, when an obstructed runner after the obstruction safely obtains or returns to the base that would have been awarded in the umpire's judgment had there been no obstruction and there is a subsequent play on a different runner, the obstructed runner is no longer protected between the bases where the runner was obstructed and may be put out. And when properly appealed for missing a base or leaving a base before a fly ball was first touched while advancing, if obstruction occurred while a runner was returning to touch the base, the runner is protected. So also exceptions from obstruction when they commit an act of interference, if they pass another runner, or when it's the batter flies out for the third out. Also, when the batter runner is obstructed between two bases and the batter runner flies out. If the obstructed runner is put out after passing the base that would have been reached had there been no obstruction, the obstructed runner will be called out. When a runner, while advancing or returning to a base, is obstructed by a fielder who neither has the ball nor is attempting to make the initial play on a batted ball, or a fielder who fakes a tag without the ball, the obstructed runner and each runner affected by the obstruction will be awarded the base or bases which would have been reached in the umpire's judgment had there been no obstruction. And now I'm done talking, and now you get to watch videos. One thing that I'm going to add that isn't in the slides, your best weapon are 3 words when a coach comes out to argue if you make an obstruction or interference call. Can anyone tell me what those 3 words are?
In my judgment.
Yes, Brian got it right on the head of the nail.
Not the rule says?
No. So here's your first one.
Whoa.
What'd you think on that one?
What was that?
That's
As
a
far as
problem.
interference?
Well, in interference or obstruction.
Oh, okay.
We can play it again.
Obstruction by the third baseman.
Well, you got obstruction. I don't know about third baseman, but definitely the catcher.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
standing on top of home plate.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. She was directly in front of it.
Second look, third baseman was out of the way.
Yeah.
I thought she was in the way, forcing the girl to go around.
Did the wrong line. Agreed.
Okay. Everybody good on that one?
Yeah.
Here's your next one.
Tag her, there you go. Knock her down and then tag her. Good idea.
He's calling her out.
Oh, okay.
Anyone have a question on that one? Yeah, he's putting the runner back on third base.
That would probably be interference. Good call.
Anyone have a different perspective? Do we need to see it again?
Can you play that again?
Sure.
Yeah.
See if the shorts I get taken out. Well, I like that guy.
You'll order double play on it?
No.
So that's
interference because that was an
Interference.
immediate dead ball.
Yeah.
Because the runner ran over the field
Okay.
trying to make the play.
Aren't the mechanics,
Right,
don't you
so-
point
okay.
at the runner, give a strong, that's interference, then kill it?
Well, you'd want to kill it and then probably say that's interference because you want to kill play.
Because the point right there, because we've seen this many times, is there was a runner on third that he's putting back at third.
So. Okay, this one I'm going to apologize. There's some slow-mo audio and it sounds like cows. So I'll apologize in advance for it. So I'm going to pause it right there on that first quick view. Did anyone think it was anything other than a pickoff? Nope, okay, we'll continue. There's a herd of cows.
In right field.
Obstruction, send back to first base.
They're gonna give you a nice up close look from over here too. And you can hear the umpire.
On his own GoPro.
Good call.
That's obstruction for sure.
Agreed.
Cause you can see how she holds up because the fielder's there without the ball.
That's a problem.
You can see she's already letting up and you can see the ball over here. Can't see my mouse on the screen.
Taking a bad dime.
So. Okay. Everyone understand that one? Yep. Sorry, I thought I advanced.
I'm not
There
saying
we
it's not
go.
obstruction, but she's out because of her own stupidity and lying to go back.
You want her like my dad, based on how what people should have done or whatever.
You're supposed to run back into the thing. Your dad must have been a very
He
good
does
fisherman.
not, he does not like the obstruction interference rule.
I hate it.
The way they are, yeah. Interference.
Everybody understand that?
Once
The
again, somebody was
initial,
trying to.
the initial play on a batted ball. Interference.
This one's interesting and it's got a couple of
Watch very carefully the whole play. Well, that's a bad idea.
Obstruction right there. Obstruction. Again.
You think so?
Both.
You think it's obstruction?
Both.
How many people think it's interference? No? Okay.
Initial play on a batted ball.
So-
No.
Okay.
So there's a couple things that happen in this play. Obviously at the end, when she runs into number, I think that's 60, standing there looking at her, sitting on the ground. Obviously that's obstruction. She impeded the runner. But if you notice a little earlier in that rundown, the first girl that chases her back does a fake tag on her too. So let's watch it again. A throw.
Where's the fake tag?
Right there.
Whoa.
Running obstruction.
Interesting.
Maybe three of them.
You think she just her momentum just took her glove into it?
No, you can see she reached out.
Send that runner to first.
Okay, this is a baseball one, but it's the same general rule for both.
For my mice.
Yes.
This must be a,
Little league.
So we need to see that, play this
Okay.
angle. Thank you.
Does he ever get into the lane?
Nope.
I think one foot actually hit the line once.
Dead ball, interference on the batter runner.
So Pops.
Is that,
They got
the
baseball
one on the field? Yeah.
It should be the home plate umpire
Dead
call.
ball, interference on the batter runner.
Maybe the right field umpire might have an opinion too. He's closer to the base of the plate umpire.
Obstruction.
I think I know that umpire.
Obstruction. 100%.
If you don't call this obstruction, that lady right there will eat you alive.
Anybody have any thoughts on that one? Other than the two sitting next to me.
You gave my opinion. Obstruction.
So I just obviously it didn't happen, but that same play, she's standing, same place she's standing. The ball arrives just before she comes sliding in. Do you have obstruction?
If
She has
she's
possession
there
of the
before
ball.
the ball,
Just to beat, she catches the ball just to beat before she slides in. She's
Okay,
already in
but-
the process of sliding, but she catches the ball just to beat before the hand comes sliding in.
okay,
Do you have obstruction or not?
let's say, let's take that. Let's say the third baseman is 2 steps closer to second base, and the runner starts to slide there. Did she hinder her approach into third base?
Well, that's what I'm asking you.
So either, if you look, this third baseman, if we watch this again,
My point is, look where this actually happens a lot in throwdowns on a stolen base from second to third, and the catcher throwing to the third baseman, where the third baseman is lined up and has her foot either partly in front or even fully in front of the bag, but she gets the ball just prior to the runner sliding in.
okay, but in this case, notice where the third baseman is set up. She's and high school and college, the rules different.
Set up prior to
Right.
catching.
In college, if they set up in an obstructive position, it's obstruction. In high school, we don't have the setup portion. It's only obstruction when it becomes obstruction. But if by where she was standing, she caused the runner to alter their path to the base, then you could
Yes, in
call obstruction in your judgment.
Right. So
yes, in high school, not about to receive. She has to have possession before the runner within a reasonable amount of time gets to that base.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
saying.
right. So the scenario I'm asking about, because this is I've been asked this repeatedly, and I'm importing something from a high level coach where we had this discussion, and that was my position, was that on a stolen base, they very rarely will try to slide to the side. It's not like sliding into home where you can come in from a variety of areas. You're pretty much coming in straight into it because you're trying to beat the throw. And the third baseman will often set up right in front of the base or over the top of the base, but could be part of their body is in front of the base. The runner is not moving. The runner is coming straight in. The third baseman receives the ball just before, and then is able to bring it down and make the tag prior to it. The question the coaches have asked me is, isn't that obstruction because she sets up prior to receiving the ball? And when I've seen Federation videos that show when a fielder gets the ball at the last moment, they don't consider that obstruction, which blows me away, but that's what they're showing.
Okay.
So that's why I'm asking that
But it
specific
still
scenario.
comes down to your judgment as to whether or not the fielder impeded or hindered the runner progressing to the base.
Right.
I also think if you look at that, that third baseman's already got her left knee down, blocking about a third of the base.
Wow.
Yeah, I see her knee coming down when she had the ball.
That's obstruction.
So
yeah, but she's got to have it before. You're only talking a foot or two.
College, that's definitely obstruction.
To me, that's full obstructed because you.
I see.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody on here that thinks it's not obstruction if she doesn't have possession of the ball. My
Right.
question is, once she has possession of the ball,
Because how does
And
Because-
and it's almost all, but it's all simultaneous, right? Especially on a stolen base. It's bang,
Right.
bang, bang.
Well, that
That's what I'm
wasn't,
asking about.
I mean, it's gonna be like, once again, it's, your judgment. How, did you see, did you feel that the fielder impeded the runner or did not impede the runner?
Right.
If you don't think
I
there
agree
was
with
any
that.
impediment, then you don't have obstruction. If you did, then you should have obstruction. So once again, those three magic words, in my judgment. Okay, moving on to
Yeah,
the next.
I have a question because I might be
Yep.
confused with other codes. If the that defender sets up, or usually it's a catcher, but let's say the third baseman, that first baseman set up in an obstructed position. Okay, so
So the act of
she had the
setting
base
up is
blocked.
not,
So
is
she sets
not
up an obstructed position. If it's a bang bang play, you got to call obstruction.
right. But the thing is, in college, if the runner hasn't turned third base and the catcher is standing in the base path, at least I know a few years ago, they were calling that
Yeah,
obstruction, even though there wasn't a
yeah,
play there yet.
No, no,
wasn't-
it's no. If the
college
runner's
rules,
out by
honestly.
5 or 6 steps, I'm not going to call obstruction.
Right, but
I'm not going to call that, but I'm just saying that third baseman was set up in an obstructive position,
right.
and
But
the ball, the ball and the runner showed up at the same time.
in high school, they don't have, this is where it gets interesting in high school. In high school, it's not obstruction until it's obstruction. So once again, if you feel that the way where they set up hindered the runner, it forced them to change the path or how they were coming into the base, then you have obstruction. If she's just rounding second and the third baseman's standing in front of the bag in the baseline, but moves in plenty of time for the runner to get into the base, then that's fine.
I think that the word you're looking for is alter her path going in. Second of all, we should leave the college mechanics out of this, because that's going to confuse some people even more for the high school rules, in my opinion.
So,
Well, the way where that third baseman was set up, there's, I don't know, I would have called obstruction there.
right, and NC2A that is, and probably most likely in high school it is too. So, but once again, it all comes down to umpire judgment.
Or isn't it in high school that the catcher isn't allowed to step into the line until she's received the ball?
No,
She can stand in the baseline and receive the ball?
if she wants,
As long as she's
yeah,
not obstructing the runner,
yeah,
No matter timing.
and she's not about to.
The
she
runner
can-
will change her path to get the obstruction.
Agreed.
Correct. Yeah. That was all. So look, I've had this debate with this coach for a while. The difference is what happens at home plate is if the catcher is standing in the line, the runner sees that because she has time to alter her path and try to hook slide or whatever. But when you're going straight into third base, especially on a stolen base, you don't have time to veer your path or try to go outside, and it really doesn't help anyway. So you generally don't veer your path. They just run straight into it.
right.
And so it becomes, and that was my understanding and that's what I kept saying was it's different at third base than at home because you set up at third because they're coming straight in and they don't veer their path. If you see them alter their path, if you think, oh, well, they feel like maybe they slowed down or maybe they hesitated. I can't normally see that. So I can't read the runner's minds. If that's what a coach is going to argue, I'm going to basically say she had possession of the ball prior to the runner who took a direct path from second base into third. But it's easy for me to say when I see a runner, try to coming in and all of a sudden she takes it 2 steps outside because the catcher is obviously set up in the way to make that obstruction call. That's why I asked the question, precisely because it prompts this kind of thinking.
So, okay, moving on to the next one.
out of the way.
It could be interference. I know, but it could be, what if that?
It is
runner
interference.
Reached up past the base and saved it.
So, does that, anybody have anything on that play?
Interference.
Batter interference.
Yeah.
She's out of the
Yeah.
box.
Yeah, most people are going to call interference
Definite
on that
interference.
out of the box, but I really think that's, I don't know. There's been a rash of catchers taking advantage of that by actually throwing it at the hitter when if they see their foot step out of the box, when really they could still make a throw to third.
I kind of tend to agree with Brian on this. When I watched this video, I thought the catcher went after the batter on this. But basically what this comes down to, as soon as the batter moved out of the box,
She made herself fair game.
she obstructed the catcher. That's what we were basically told.
What do you do if the batter just stood still
And
and the catcher threw right into her?
Nothing.
What if the catcher still has a clear lane to throw? What if there really, in truth, was no obstruction? That the catcher still had an easy throw or a clear lane to throw to third, and that batter did them no harm at all. But they simply took advantage of the rule to try and make intentional contact with the batter and get an easy interference call.
I myself would probably say I'm going with a no call because I think your catcher intentionally tried to get obstruction.
I agree.
This one doesn't look like the catcher steps. Makes that funny step to try to get to her. Looks like she's just trying to make a throw.
Don't penalize a smart catcher.
See how she stepped in instead of forward?
Yeah, she stepped out
I
of the
agree.
batter's
She
box.
totally
One of
leaned
feet,
into her.
definitely
Yeah.
interference.
That catcher totally went into the batter's box to throw.
That's interference.
So in some ways, she's almost forcing the batter out of the box. So what the coach has got to coach. If they're going to call that, the offensive coach has got to coach all their players to just keep their feet dead set in the box and not move, no matter what happens.
Yep.
But I don't know. Maybe if that's the way we're going to call it, then they need to teach their players that.
That's the rule.
Okay.
You guys are overthinking it. It's interference.
Okay. Moving on to the next one. I think this one's going to be pretty obvious.
Ouch. What do you mean? He threw the bit into the ball.
Any questions on that one?
Batter's interference.
No, that's obstruction.
Not true.
Catcher's obstruction.
Obstruction.
Clearly.
Now, obviously on this play, you can see where the ball ended up because it's right there in the batter's box. But had he ripped a double on that,
Ignored.
what would your call be?
You got a choice.
Just live ball.
Well, it's a live ball because it's a delayed dead ball call on catcher's obstruction.
It's no call.
It becomes no call because
Yeah.
the batter and all other runners advance 60 feet. Then the catcher's obstruction is waived.
I believe the board is ignored.
Is that still a judgment call though? Like as far as if they reach 60 feet or more?
Well, if they either reach 60 feet or they don't.
Either get to the base.
He's using 60 feet as a synonym for reaching the next base.
Next base.
Oh, gotcha.
Advance.
Okay.
It's the actual wording is advance one base.
Yeah.
If they all advance at least one base, then it goes away.
Second.
Oh, okay.
Just like other obstructions.
So
Can the coach choose if one does and one doesn't make it? If a run scores?
No,
Yes, he can.
no, they can't. It's not. This not a choice. This one's not a choice. This one's just
Just like you said. They either all get to the next base or they don't, and if they do, then the obstruction is ignored.
Right.
correct.
Right.
So that
Technically, they have a choice, yeah, but not. Malicious contact.
All right.
Wait, keep
Wait,
watching.
keep
Keep watching.
This is not done yet. High five, coach.
No, it's another player.
Was it a player? I thought they said it was a coach.
No, it's a player.
You guys better angle than that. No?
You can see the orange pants in the corner.
Oh.
Let's watch that one again. So you can see the player.
Okay. So you obviously have malicious contact. But when right now where you're sub, you see two players high-fiving over the contact. This is a point where you need to jump into this and make sure that this does not continue. Because right now, the I guess it's the silver great team or whatever, they're gonna retaliate if you don't jump up and do your job.
Anybody have a question on this one?
Can we see that one more time?
Sure.
Yeah, what does the umpire do with his right hand? That's my question.
I'm not sure.
Is that Ray Fosse? Okay.
Got Pete Rose and Ray Fosse. And that was a mismatch there. That girl was twice the catcher's size.
Right away, I put like a
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
150
whoa,
pound
whoa, whoa.
girl behind the plate instead.
It looks like he's signaling obstruction.
So the runner's out, right?
Left arm, isn't it?
That's his right arm.
Yeah, not,
Okay,
not
I
the
guess-
His
right arm.
right arm
obstruction,
straight
the
out.
left arm.
Almost
Always
looked
right.
like he was trying to decide what he was going to call. He's
Wow.
just got his hand out there.
You
I'm
gotta
not
decide
quite
on that
sure.
one. You should be in the parking lot already.
Now, obviously, the runner malicious contact is out. The comment about getting this under control with the high fives and all, expound a little bit.
Well, in other words, you've obviously got
An intense game.
an intense game, or
Yeah. And you're
the worst poor sportsmanship.
and you're booting one person at a minimum, or
Right, you're tossing-
anybody else with
You're
the high
tossing
five?
that player, and you're telling both coaches that
Fair.
we're not going to tolerate this kind of
Thank you. That's
activity, and if it continues, we'll keep running them, and you too.
okay. No, that's what I was
I
looking
think
for.
also what you need to do is bring the coaches together and warn whoever the players are that they're on a short list because of that. If something even comes up again, then you toss them.
The runner that ended up on third.
Oh,
She was a veteran. I'm sorry. What was? I didn't hear the last question because someone here was asking me a question.
I think
What
they
I
were just. I
said-
think they were
what-
just comments.
Okay.
What I said you should also do is whatever the defending team is, you warn the coach, you warn the player, you note it in the scorebook and your card. If something
Right. You
goes on down the road, then you can have that person restricted to the bench, and you can also toss the coach if it continues to go.
right.
The point they made, so they showed this at the USA clinic Saturday, and they said, oh, try to do it immediately before she even has a chance to walk over there. I've personally experienced this. I had this happen to me in a high school game, and the thing is, you just don't expect to see it. It just doesn't happen. It's happened to me once in 20 years. So I saw it, and I'm like, what the hell did I just see? And it takes you a moment to sort of process it because it's so, at least for me, it's so unusual. Now, you ended up tossing her. Thankfully, she didn't go and high five everybody. I tossed her, but it was, and the coach tried to argue, and I'm like, but that's what they said, was to try to cut it off. That was
Right.
their
I mean,
recommendation.
As soon as you realize what you saw, you need to make your call. Hopefully, it's something that you realize sooner than later. That wait, she just ran her over. I've got a dead ball, runners out, and ejected. Or restricted to the dugout. In high school code,
No matter how bad it is, you can't make them leave.
Yeah, you can't. The girls, you can't make them leave the field. The coaches, you can make them leave the field. So
in your report, the way that malicious first is A lot of times these types of things that come out of the blue is retaliation for something that happened a couple of weeks ago in their first game.
Yep.
Okay, so that's why these things come out of the blue. What just
Or it
happened?
could be from a game from last year if it's beginning of the season.
Well, it's usually a retaliation for something that happened earlier.
Yep.
The other part in your report, it's do your best to make it crystal clear that it was so blatant that it may warrant additional
Do not
penalty
do
and
not,
to
no.
be
No.
suspended
Mario,
from
stop.
other games.
Okay. Reports,
No,
they don't want your opinion. They don't want you to tell them how long it's out. You give the facts of what happened, that it was malicious contact and all that. They don't want our opinion at all. Okay?
Yeah.
Well,
See,
hopefully there's video.
But CIF does not want that. They want what happened. No opinions.
Right.
They don't want to know what your opinion is, if they should have a 5-game suspension or no game suspension. All they want to know is what happened.
If they need further information, they'll contact you and they'll ask you at that point.
right. So, but yeah, and if you have to do a post game report, strictly the facts. I hate to sound like Sergeant
Joe
Webb
Friday.
or
Joe
Joe
Friday.
Friday. Just the facts,
Just the
ma'am.
facts, man.
So,
And you put that she high-fived the
Yeah,
additional
so you're too young for
player.
that.
yeah, you can put that in.
Yes, that's a fact.
That's a
It
fact.
was a fact because it happened.
She ran over the catcher and then high fived her teammate afterwards. So
To let them draw their own conclusions.
yep. So moving on to the next one. Watch this play.
That's really not what we had there. We have interference by a runner. So he's out, and then he's now committed an
Watch right there.
That was slick.
That's wrong.
He took the ball right out of the glove.
That's wrong.
Oh,
Any player's advance.
That's wrong.
What's key to this is our proper use of eyes. So we look at the ball, we then have the ball in the catcher's mitt, and instead of coming up with an out call right away, we slow everything down and we get to it.
So what they're saying is he was too quick to make his out call. He should have seen it and then called a dead ball there and then called the out for the interference.
But timing wasn't going to.
Number two, if he was in the proper position, he would have seen that.
That is true.
Proper positioning.
So,
He also
The
had an additional out for the interference with a try player, like another runner that would catch and make.
Well, you'd have retired runner interference, right? Because he's out on the play.
Yeah, but that's the coach. That's not another runner. You have the guy coming in the home out, and you got the coach right next to the batter's box.
Yeah, what?
No, the interference is when he swats the ball out of the glove. That's the interference.
Right.
We don't worry about the coach because it's already dead.
I think the coach comes in later. Let's watch it again and we can see when the. Oh, the coach is right there.
wow.
Exactly. If he would have been in the right position, that probably wouldn't have happened, and none of that would have gone through all that controversy.
So he's gonna be, he's out, and then he's now committed an act.
What is a coach doing that close to the play?
I have no idea.
Exactly what I was thinking.
How would I argue if I don't have a good view? I got a great vio here.
Yeah.
Had a third base
But
coach
umpire's out of
out
position.
of the dugout.
My spot.
He had a better view of the interference than the umpire did.
There you go.
Yep. Okay.
So before you go on, can I just ask, what's the proper mechanic there? The proper mechanic is to call time.
Kill the
and then
play.
call the runner out due to interference.
Well, no, you have the runner out on the tag.
So, okay, but do we call him out and then call time and announce that it was due to interference? Or do you call time, call the runner out and say it was due to the interference by the runner?
Well,
interference is automatic fine.
I would call,
I got a dead
I
ball
would kill it, call the runner out, and then
Point
you
to
have,
interfere.
and
Yeah.
then you have interference by a retired runner, and the penalty for that is the runner closest to home plate is also out now.
Yeah. What you don't want to do,
retired runner.
what you don't want to do is call him safe and then call time and say, but he's out due to the interference.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unless he was safe.
Okay. This one here is kind of an interesting one.
Oh, yeah. Is that interference?
I'm going to pause it here. Okay.
No.
So the first question is, which fielder are you going to protect on this play? Because that, if it's interference, you're protecting a field. If it's obstruction, you're protecting the runner. So if you're thinking it's interference, which fielder are you protecting?
Shortstop.
By rule, it's the closest to the play, right?
Well,
The
they're
fielder closest to
both
the
right
play.
there, but
The
Yeah,
one
but
you
you have to
feel
make a
has
decision
better
which
chance
one
to
is
make the
doing.
play.
what'd you say, Juan?
The one you feel would have had a better chance to make the play.
Okay. Well, but if you felt the shortstop and the third baseman who made the play, right? So, you know, it's who's fielding the initial ball. You can only protect one player because both players can't field the initial ball. So,
The closest to fielding a ball is the one you're going to protect.
Say that again, Mike.
The one closest to making the play or that ball, that's the one you're going to protect.
Okay, so
which one was that?
Which fielder was that?
You know, I just got the tail end of it. So play it again for me, and I'll tell you.
Yeah,
what
run the
I'm
video
gonna back
again.
it up and run it again.
It's going to be shortstop. I mean, excuse me, it's going to be third base.
Right. So the third baseman makes the initial play. Now they're going to show you from another angle, and you're going to see something
that you haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll go still with the third baseman, but then you could also get possibly malicious contact with the run going into the shortstop.
Oh, that's not it.
So they're going to show the same view again.
Interesting. The runner timed it intentionally.
Watch it. Okay, there you go. You
Yeah.
finally saw that.
The runner,
So she stops, and now she goes again.
Yes.
Is that illegal?
Absolutely.
No.
Okay, I saw that now.
No, that's not illegal. But I mean, that could be interference. Is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That act by itself alone is not interference, but it could be.
Right.
If they
right.
impede, hinder, or confuse.
But did you see that? Did you see the collision there?
You can make a
Yeah,
point. You can make a point though that she decided to go between and let the third baseman make the play.
Well,
What I saw was that the runner paused, thinking the ball would come past when it wasn't moving fast. She continued, and she actually swerved to try to go outside, go around
When
the
did the ball
fielder
get
who was
there?
fielding it
When the
at
ball
third
gets
base.
there.
Let me finish. Was going around the fielder at third base, and then she ran into the shortstop, which would be obstruction by the shortstop. If
You watch it.
Right, the shortstop
When
puncher
you get to
too.
the one again, watch where the runner is when the ball gets there. Not this one. Okay, right there. Where was the runner when the ball got there?
In between.
Watch. Here,
Oh, she was-
get a better angle here. Where is she? She's still okay.
There,
She's like timing it.
Yes.
Okay, and now she's already passed. She just makes no contact with the third baseman. She makes contact with the shortstop.
The shortstop
Right.
makes contact with her.
Right.
Okay,
Right?
does it really matter?
Well, my point is, it's
Yeah.
still what I said before. I saw a runner trying to avoid the third baseman making the play, and it was the shortstop that caused obstruction. Although it doesn't matter because obstruction here doesn't matter in that situation because there was no
I agree
out.
with you. I have nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what they decided on this.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a USSSA umpire, and I'm not sure what he calls here, so.
I think it's an obstruction of shortstop.
But the other one
It's a shortstop. I
is the shortstop actually pushes the
Oh, yeah,
runner
that's
going.
this one. Yeah, he helps a lot by moving so much. Okay, watch it very closely and see who's involved.
Third baseman.
Obstruction.
Right?
Third baseman obstructed the runner.
I don't
Third
think he knows
baseman
what he's
obstructed
calling.
the runner.
Yeah.
But it's funny just watching this guy because you can see the base umpire has his arm out.
Yeah, he's calling something, but
He's got obstruction from out there, but
so who's obstruction on?
who did you guys see the obstruction on?
I think it was the third baseman, whoever
Third.
the extra player was over there at
Yeah.
on the
Third.
third base line.
Got it. It was a third baseman coming in on that pop fly, who then ended
Yep.
up getting in there. Yep.
Right. Okay.
Oh, this is a fun one.
Ouch. Ouch.
What?
Oh, ow.
Ooh.
Now watch this on the
Got nothing?
replay.
Okay. Now what do you got?
Wow.
Now?
That's
Reggie
That's
Jackson
funny.
with the head instead of the butt.
Go!
Golazo.
Like I said, that this
I
is a
saw
good
Reggie
one.
Jackson do something like that.
So, but he intentionally impeded the throw, so it's an interference.
If you were
Yeah, I think they called that heads up baseball to my frustration on the broadcast this year, something like that.
Yeah.
figures it was
Here's a new one.
You'd already called obstruction to tell you it didn't happen yet.
Yeah,
So everybody but the plate umpire has seen this. You mean there? You mean her? Oh, okay.
And that's a game-winning run.
Can we replay that one?
Yeah.
Does everybody see what did? Who's the obstruction on?
Can't tell. I need to repeat.
All right, here we go.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Now there's one player.
One player does a good job. So there's the tying run.
Third base.
And the third
Oh.
knocks her down.
Third base.
And there,
Obstruction,
you're out.
dead ball, award the runner home.
That would be
Yeah.
the pitcher.
The obstruction's on whoever's covering third base, whether
On
it's the
third,
third
yeah.
baseman or somebody else. But that's where the obstruction took place.
Right.
Everybody-
Which means she gets home, right?
And that run wins the game.
He in his judgment, she would have scored it had there not been the.
That's right. Okay.
And anybody who argues. Once he's lying on the field crying.
Why are the umpires still there?
Because they're still trying to figure out who wins. So.
Really, 100%.
Oh. Look at this very carefully. There's a lot of things in this one.
This is another game-winning play.
Bottom of the seventh. Okay, there were runners on the bases were loaded with one out. Okay. So what have you got? What's the first thing you have?
Infield fly.
Infield fly, yes, sir.
Infield fly.
You got
Okay.
infield fly if fair.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start it from the beginning again.
You got a lead. Oh wait, that's okay. Yeah.
So you got infield fly. A home plate umpire calls it.
Runner and tag.
Then you got interference by a retired runner. In this case, batter runner.
So here, watch this since.
Okay.
So when the runner can advance, the infield fly will declare.
The batter runner interfered with the catch.
Catches it.
So,
Everything's dead
so
at
you
that
got
point.
so you got infield fly rule. So the batter's now out. So that's our second out. And then Chris, I think it was, said that she interferes with the fielder trying to catch the ball.
That was me.
Right,
One.
the runner at third doesn't score. Runner at third goes back to third.
Goes back to third?
Nope, that's the run closest to home.
No, that's 3 outs. That's 3 outs.
Okay, yeah, I mean, she doesn't score. You have to consider going back, and that's going to be the third out.
Right. So, well, you get the third out because the runner closest to home is declared out on the retired
runner interference. Yes.
Yeah. So. I don't remember this one. I don't think we saw this one on Saturday.
I don't think we did. I don't know.
You tell me the high school where it works, so they don't have to tag it.
Oh, yeah, we did.
You got to catch the ball.
Okay, show me. And you need to incorporate the infield fly rule into it. You can't just say,
You
you
can't-
can't just say it's a normal situation.
It is.
Alright.
Yeah, did everyone see what happened there?
We'll replay that.
You got a bad throw at first.
There. And dead ball. Dead ball, dead ball. More dead
I
ball.
got the runner going into home was obstructed at third base.
Correct.
So that run would go
I
in.
got that also.
That
Wait,
runner-
what? Hold
So
on.
now the umpires are going to get together because they're 3-man, so they're rotating. The first base umpire scrambles to get to the plate as he should.
That home plate umpire is in the wrong position if they're rotating.
There's no rotation. The ball never left the infield.
Oh,
He went up. No, he went up to the
No, he's
That's-
rotated.
He's like using a
Third base is
modified
not
holding
improper.
zone.
No, go back to the beginning. You see he's rotated up. He's rotated. See him right there.
I know he did.
He's in the wrong position.
That's in the wrong position. That's what I'm saying.
Well, then
Inside the diamond.
they had a runner on first, so he went up to cover third. Oh, yesterday they were saying outside is fine.
Yeah, that's what I was weird because we've been taught to go up to the leading edge, but at USA they were telling us to go stay to the outside. So based on what they told us Saturday, he's
Yeah.
in the right spot. I would not consider that the right spot, but for whatever reason they were telling us that is.
Yeah.
Why?
You got no out there, and you've got obstruction at third, and then that's the next out. Well,
And
you got to
you
run
can
in
see his
before the
left
next
arm
out.
go out right there.
Yeah.
Had to get somebody who's mask.
Dead ball.
Run scores and it's a ball game.
It doesn't matter what else happened.
Ball game.
They got the third out at second base.
Oh.
Well, it's no longer the third out since
The second out
since
was
the second house had scored.
And the ball's dead when they make it time to play on that runner.
not when the runner's put out.
Right.
Yeah, once the run scores, the game's over.
Yeah, that's personal, not me.
Is that you, Venardi?
No, I had it muted, so it wasn't me.
For what?
Obstruction.
Oh shit, help me.
Any questions on that one?
She went to catch the
You
ball.
were definitely an old school umpire.
That's why I can't catch the ball anymore.
I'm Tony's bringing up a good point. If you watch this, the throw's what takes the catcher to this position. She's legal right
There
there,
you go.
and the throw takes her into the path.
That's wow.
Doesn't matter why she's there. It's just that she's there.
Telling you what the rules are. I don't make the rules.
I'm telling you what the rules.
So, and once again, it's judgment, umpire judgment as to whether or not you're calling that obstruction or you're saying the throw took her into the path.
But the throw taking her into the path is not. You can't use that as an excuse. That's nowhere in the rules. There's no you can't say, well, because of this, that it just becomes a judgment of whether you. I mean, personally, I don't think she obstructed her. The path that she was taking was looping around that way anyway. She didn't change her path.
I think
I
don't we
could-
call
I
that
could
a
easily-
crash?
I would call that. I personally would have called that an out, but I can also understand why he would call that obstruction. So, like you said, becomes judgment, but it has nothing to do with the ball taking her into the path. It's just what it is.
Variables are written are to eliminate all that. It just came up. It's either they possess the ball and they're impeding or hindering or whatever, and
Okay,
then
that's why our three favorite words are in my judgment.
My judgment.
Yes. Or it's not. It's not. It's somewhere in between there.
Everybody see what happened on that one?
No.
Oh, I'm ready to argue with this one.
Can we replay it?
Yep. Anyone want to play soccer?
Wait, what happened?
Hit the runner.
Oh, okay.
But watch the runner.
Or have someone know your picture.
Rock, peck, or second base.
Or do it.
That pitcher's wild. Oh, I see. Yeah, she kicked it.
Wait a minute.
Second baseman had
But what happens if it hits them accidentally?
Well, that accidentally or on purpose doesn't mean anything. So the rule in softball, which is different than baseball, is that if it passes a fielder and no other fielder has a potential to make a play on the ball, play on.
Right.
In this case, the second base or the base umpire is saying that the second baseman had a potential play. And if you watch, you see the second baseman moving over, and then all of a sudden now the ball's going to her right instead of to her left. So the second baseman still had a chance to make that play if it doesn't hit the runner.
So the runner's out?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Okay. So if it hit her accidentally, the runner would still be out?
Well, if it had not passed a fielder, yes.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if it's accident or on purpose.
Okay.
The rule states that if it has not passed a fielder, or if a fielder still has a ability to make a play on it, then she's out. If no fielder has a chance to make a play on it and it's past a fielder, then it's play on.
Okay.
Okay. And this is going to be everyone's favorite video, and I'll explain why in a minute.
Wait, what did he call?
Putting her back at third base. Called obstruction, called delayed dead ball, obstruction on the third baseman, because when she turned to run back to third, she ran right into the third baseman. And here they'll show it again. Throw down, she takes off, stops, turns. Actually, it's more like tag, you're it.
But the umpire called obstruction on the third baseman for that?
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
because she's blocking her path
Gotcha.
back to third and made her change directions to go back, and then she lost her balance. But the reason that's everyone's favorite video is because that ends our presentation. Our next session will be next month, January 15th at 7 p.m., which is a Wednesday night. I know on your schedule, if you were at the meeting last week, said January 13th, but I realized that I believe that's national championship football game night. So I thought it would probably be a good idea to move it off of that night so everyone could watch who's ever playing for the national championship and still come to a meeting. The topic will be study guide. It will be a Zoom meeting. And we will also probably have a presentation on game management. So let me just take a quick roll just to make sure I have everyone here. Tim Drew, Jose Fletcher, DeZera's here, Harrison, Hune, Knapp, or Hunter was here, Knapp, Mario, McKenna is here, no Tony Ortiz, no Greg Peck, no Joe Rodriguez, Juan's here, no Toby, Brian's here, I'm here, no Peyton, JJ, Mike Venardi's here, Brian Ward, Randy Wellick, David White's here. Well, needs to be checked. Steven Zaldana's here, and Peter Glasgow. Did I miss anybody?
Oh man, again.
Oh, Wildermuth.
Man, I've been talking through this whole damn thing.
And I actually checked you. I just didn't read you, Chris. I actually checked you off.
Do you have me there, McCann?
Yeah, Jim, I wrote you down. I took you off my list because
No problem. No
because
problem.
of your injury. Hopefully you heal quickly and we get you back for next year.
I'm looking forward to it, but I appreciate being able to sit in on the meetings.
So anybody that other than Mr. McCann that I didn't call off and Mr. Wildermuth? If not, gentlemen, have a great night and we'll see you next month. Have a happy holiday.
Thank
Merry
you, Jess.
Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone.
Same. Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you. Well done today, Jesse.
Everybody, happy holidays.
Enjoy the
Thanks.
holidays all.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Hey, Jesse,
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
As far as when does the season start for next year?
The official opening date is February 17th.
Okay. But are we gonna want to or as far as like our scheduling, are we on Arbiter as of now, like open, or is
Well,
that
we're not on Arbiter anymore.
Oh, we're not, okay.
We're now on channelcoastofficials.org.
Okay.
And your username is your first name, last name, no space. So in your case, Steven Zaldana.
Capital S.
Okay.
Capital S, capital Z. and your password is change me, all one word, and the M of me is capital.
Okay.
Everything
And
else is lowercase. Once you log in the first time, it'll prompt you to change your password from that. And you can start blocking your schedule. And on this system, you block it by unchecking the date. So if you know
okay.
you can't work on February 15th, you uncheck February 15th. And then
Okay.
that way you won't get scheduled. Or if you only want to work, let's say 2 days a week, Tuesday and Thursday, you can uncheck Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then you only get assigned Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay. And the website is Channel Coast Umpires, you said?
ChannelCoastOfficials.org.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Officials.org.
I will email you the PMP in about
Okay.
15 minutes.
All
And
right.
it has the address on there. Under
Oh, okay.
assigning, it says to make sure you keep your availability up to date. And
Okay.
it gives the website. And then once you get to that site, you just select high school softball.
Okay.
And then you go to officials login, and that's where you put in your username and password.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you the scheduler now?
No, Tony Gazzara is the
Oh, okay.
assigner.
Gotcha. And are we doing any in-person clinics? I know I probably missed one already, but
Well, we had our in-person meeting last Wednesday. We will have a ratings day on February 1st. We will have an on-field clinic on January 26th, I think it is.
okay.
Give me 1 second.
I'm sure you'll email all that stuff out.
Yeah. Well, give me 1 second. I can tell you.
Okay.
Let me bring the website back up. There it is. Look at see channelcoastofficials.org. If I go to instructional, or if I go down here to calendars and instructional calendar, there we go. Our clinic is on the 26th. That's going to most likely be at Agora High School.
Okay.
And then we're on, if you look down here on, no, I didn't put it in. I got to put it in. On February 1st at Westlake High School, we're going to have a ratings day
Okay.
where we'll actually have teams playing, and you'll be able to get out and get some work and have some people look at you and give you some pointers
Oh, perfect.
to help you out.
Okay.
And then, the clinic it's going to be better than last year's. We're actually going to do some different things this year. Where you're actually going to work on plate position and calling pitches, and hopefully have some teams out to run some scenarios for us to give you an idea of where you're supposed to be and when you're supposed to be there with actual speed instead of just walking.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, my friend. Thank you very much. I know I've been kind of MIA, but I think I got my schedule pretty down, so I'm
Okay.
gonna commit now, and I'll be on the rest of them from now on.
Okay. Also, when you get a chance, if you can Venmo me your fees.
Okay.
And I think you had a small balance from last year.
Yeah, I think I saw that. Was that for softball or
Yeah, it
was for
was
you guys?
you paid for
Okay.
15 games,
Gotcha.
and I think you worked 19 or something like that. So there was $16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, if you can pay your dues, the $16, and then half, the $60 assigning for the first 15 games, like you did last
Okay.
year. And if you can't do them all at once, that's fine. Try to get me the dues and then the assigning fee, and then get me your $16 when you can.
Okay. Yeah, I can send that to you probably tomorrow.
Okay.
Your Venmo. I have your phone number, so if you can just text me, or I could text you and then you could text me your Venmo.
I'll make sure when I send you the email, it'll be in my email signature.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It'll have the Venmo and the Zelle.
Okay. And what's the total again?
It's 105 for your dues,
Okay.
60 for your first half of signing fees. And then I believe your last year's balance was $16.
Okay. So I'll just add all that
But
up.
when you log in, you should be able to see your invoice.
Okay.
On your homepage, it should have a link to your invoice, which will show you the 105 and the 16.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't
Also,
invoice the signing fees, but
okay. Also, I know last year we got a couple of rule books.
yes, you'll get rule books.
We'll get another one. Okay.
Yeah, you get a rule book and a case book.
Okay.
As soon as I receive your dues, you can either, I'm in Camarillo,
Okay.
or I can meet you somewhere and get you your rule books.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll do that soon. But yeah, I'll have this sent to you probably by tomorrow.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll go from there.
Okay. Sounds great.
Alrighty, Jesse. Thank you, man. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
You too.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Bye. JJ, you there?
Just go on Max Preps and find all the home games at Channel Islands, and you and Wilderbeest are gonna be there.
Why? Because we're following the rules. You
Hey,
literally.
you wanna explain to him why you have to tag up on a caught infield putt?
Same as any other fly ball.
Anyways.
I say that in the argument.
I didn't say I was gonna call this stuff. I'm just saying that's what the rules are.